plug in the sound, listen. Welcome. The fan celebration for The Mandalorian. Jünger ist und Stimmung macht.
It's incredible for the first day, my first day with the movie is on May the 4th in Berlin. It's a beautiful day. I heard it was very hot yesterday. I got in the nighttime and it was quite warm. But I feel cozy and excited that everyone is going to get to see some of the movie, to be here with Jon, to be here with Sigourney, legend. It's a very, very special experience. It was incredible. Grogu's been waiting to get on the big screen since day one, since his first illustration. So it's very fitting, and it's my honor to share the screen with Grogu. I even dressed up as Grogu today. He would eat it. He would eat anything.
He would love it.
He would love it. Yes, that's true. Hello, Berlin. Das ist die Weg.
Das war ein verhungerter Fuchs.
Wir machen bitte keine Selfies.
It was such an exciting experience. It really takes you to another world, and I didn't know what was going to happen to our two heroes, and it was a really satisfying, wonderful movie. I can't wait to see it again. Well, I fell in love, but I was trying to hide it because I'm supposed to be a colonel who is tough. So, but he, a scene stealer. It's a pretty amazing experience. I mean, what a turnout for our movie. It's incredibly thrilling to see everyone dressed up and so passionate. Look at they're magnificent. Totally.
When you talk about
Hello, Berlin.
I think it's time now, after almost 7 years, for Star Wars to come back to the big screen where it all began. As much as I love watching Star Wars at home with friends, there is something about the energy of a room full of people who are cheering and laughing together. It's a communal experience. And this year is a year where people are coming back to the theaters, and Star Wars wants to be part of this historic summer. There's of course the story evolves. Of course the stories evolve over time. We start off with a script. The one scene that transformed the most, I think, is the scenes with Martin Scorsese. He improvised a lot. He brought a lot of humor to it. So that changed, but because of the way that we were able to record his voice and film him, we were able to adjust the edit of the film and change the scene to accommodate his improv.
A friend of mine who's ill. Thank you very much.
I've had experience with helmeted leads since Iron Man, so it's a balancing act. You want to have the humanity of the actor, but also the iconic visual of the mask, the traditional mythic storytelling of having a masked figure, and Star Wars has that tradition. Many of the characters I remember loving as a kid, some of them were faces, and some of them, like Darth Vader, C-3PO, were sculpted masks. So to me, it's all part of Star Wars. Das ist der Weg. Hello, Berlin. Das ist der Weg.
Thank you so much for this amazing welcome. And I have to say, what really is thrilling is that you have so many different fans who are dressed, but you're all different ages. It's like cross-generation passion, and I've really never seen it before. So bravo to all of you. I think it's so cool.
Well, let me start by saying there's no better place to celebrate May the 4th than here in Berlin with these fans. So thank you. This process, when you're creative, this all started alone, typing away at a keyboard with an idea of what a TV show could be for Star Wars. And I showed pages to Dave Filoni. It starts off as a very small thing. And then through bringing the cast in, the crew, the artists, it starts to build and grow until finally it gets out to the world. And then the world tells you if you've done something they like. And this little character that was created just by, sitting alone and imagining what could be turned into something that's so beloved and brought so much happiness to so many people. And also the Mandalorian as an iconic silhouette and face in the Star Wars world makes me very honored that I could have characters that are standing side by side with Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, Han Solo, and I'm proud to be a part of that tradition.
I'm so grateful that it is a big screen experience because it's the kind of big screen experience I had as a kid growing up. It's weirdly the reason that I'm here is movies like that. And here with Sigourney Weaver and Jon Favreau, I'm getting up there in age, and everything's making me cry. So I can't do it to you again. But I will say that having seen the movie in full, it is the kind of action adventure that I would see as a kid and then live in my imagination for the rest of the week, for the rest of the summer, try to go back as much as I could. I see so many of my favorite movies in Jon's movie. I see Jon's love of movies in the movie. It is just a love letter to all of our experiences of having a collective movie-going experience. And that's what it means.
I was born in '66, so I was the perfect age to see the first Star Wars film in '77. I had no idea what to expect. And from the minute that first, the blockade runner goes past, I said, that's cool. And then the Star Destroyer passed over my head and kept going, and I felt the crowd erupt. And from that moment on, my life was changed. And I wanted to learn everything I could about visual effects. How did they do these things? It was before the internet, before home video. You had to look up in magazines, and I was just a fan. And then eventually got to be an usher in the movie theaters when the Return of the Jedi was playing. And now I get to make these with people like this, people that are so talented, people that I look up to. So it's been a dream come true.
Well, I was in my 20s, and it was at the Ziegfeld Theater in New York. It was a big, glorious old theater. I don't know how many hundreds of people were there, and the movie started, and as Jon just described, as soon as it starts, you're like, whoa, where am I? This has never happened to me before in a movie theater. You had such a sense of being in a galaxy far away and being taken away to someplace so magical, and just, I feel very lucky. I was very envious of the actors that they got to be in this fantastic story. And they were a little older than I was, and I was just like, I was an unemployed actor at that point, and I thought, maybe someday I'll be in a movie.
It's funny that you saw, there was a re-release of Empire Strikes Back that I saw at the Ziegfeld in New York when I was in my 20s. So I love sharing that with you. But also, as a kid, I saw them all. I've got to do my research and find out how I saw the first Star Wars movie in the movie theater, but I know that I did. Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, I remember the day we got tickets to see it finally, because it was like our fourth attempt. Weeks had passed. People had seen it. My sister had seen it. I hadn't seen it yet, and because it was always sold out. And then we finally got tickets, and it felt like, I don't know, getting the golden ticket.
Now here.